are expected here today, and the weather is absolutely perfect. Not a cloud in the sky, and the temperature in the mid-70s. Hello, everybody. I'm Charlie Jones, along with Merlin Olsen, and something has got to be going on with you, because Merlin called me in my room at 6 o'clock this morning, and he says, "Are you ready?"
No, Charlie, you're right. Ever since I got bitten by the football bug as a very young man, there's always been one day in the fall. They pulled San Diego's defense in, and they threw the ball over the top.
And what do you expect from the Raiders today?
I expect more of the same, and Marcus is going to have his hands full. They're going to give him the football here today.
Right on
his shoulders today, especially since you've got a rookie, Steve Wisniewski, starting right next to him in that offensive line.
And so that's part of the drama that we'll have unfolding here today at Arrowhead Stadium. Kansas City will be receiving, and that means that Jeff Jager will be kicking off for the Los Angeles Raiders. Kenny Gamble, number 22, and Danny Copeland, number 25, are the return men. And the crowd on their feet. Gamble on the far side and Copeland on the near side. And it is Gamble at the 6. And he returns to the 20-yard line. 12 yards on the return. Now, for the Kansas. And here's Okoye. As he opens it up, and he will pick up about 4 yards. It'll be second down and 6. The Raiders defense. Their front seven. The change here from last week, Emmanuel King is starting at outside linebacker, replacing Otis Wilson, who was cut. Now, when the Raiders go to their nickel package, their two inside linebackers will come out. Mike Haynes and Eddie Anderson will come in. In the Raiders secondary, look for the great speed on the corners, Terry McDaniel and Lionel Washington. Kansas City staying on the ground, a pick of a 3. This time it is James Saxon who is carrying, and Bob Golick, the nose tackle, is the man who brings him down.
Talking to the coaches yesterday, Charlie, the sun is extremely bright, bearing down on this stadium, and I think both coaches actually hoped that they would lose the toss so they could select the side of the field and put the sun in the eyes of the receivers, not only the offensive receivers, but also someone dropping back to receive a punt or a kickoff. Kansas City won the toss, elected to take the football, but they're going to have trouble with the sun here early.
And now Kansas City goes with 4 wide receivers, and they show it out of the shotgun. DeBerg has protection. He throws. It's there. First down. Rob Thomas, 8 yards. A little bit different start for DeBerg than last week. His first pass was intercepted. His second offensive play was fumbled. Pittsburgh recovered it. And we'll come back to that story. Let's go.
In fact, the master of that particular play is on the sideline for the Raiders today.
Kansas City first down at their own 36-yard line. Dressel, one of the tight ends in motion. Okoye, the ball carrier, and he picks up 3. Spotted at the 39-yard line. It'll be second down and 7.
Okoye is listed at 260 pounds. Said he's really about 4 pounds lighter than that. But you see a little bit of awkwardness in there, and you may see him have some trouble sustaining today because he has not practiced much, and you see him shaking his head as he comes off to the side. He's had some injury problems in his career, but when he is running at full speed with that huge bulk and 4.46 speed, under 4.5 speed, he is a load, Charlie.
And now Herman Hurd along with James Saxon into the offensive set. And here is Hurd. And he is to the 40. Maybe 2, maybe 1. Let's see where they spot it. It's going to be third down and in the neighborhood of 6 to go as Zeff Lee makes the tackle. Let's go back.
Chiefs, as they didn't quit, they came back. And not only came back, but they were in the ballgame until late in the 4th quarter.
When DeBerg was intercepted again. Third down. 1 out of 1 on third down. Conversions. He's open, and it is intercepted. An outstanding defensive play. Rob Thomas got behind the corner. The safety was lurking in the wings.
Van McElroy plays that free safety as well as anyone in football, anticipating the quarterback, and DeBerg has had trouble looking off his receivers. A streak play down the sideline, but DeBerg not able to look McElroy off. And watch McElroy coming in at the top of your picture, number 26. He is waiting for that football and makes an excellent reception. Good defensive backs look at that ball in the air and say, that's my football, not your football.
And the Raiders go to work on offense for the first time at their own 29-yard line. This is Steve Smith. And he is to the 35. He has 6 for the Raiders. That offensive line, the change at center, and that, of course, is that Dan Turk is starting for most part. The Raiders are backs and receivers. Schrader is the starting quarterback, even though he does have that separated left collarbone that he suffered in the game last week. They also lost Tim Brown, a knee injury. So we'll be seeing more of the 3 wide receivers and the 4 wide receivers, and that means that Steve Smith will come out. And Mike Alexander will replace him, and Marcus Allen will stay in on most of the passing downs. And it is Smith to the hole. First down, 50-yard line, gain of 14. Steve Smith has the first down. Deron Cherry makes the tackle.
Steve Smith effective as a result of, I think, people keying on Marcus Allen, looking to the outside, and Smith, who's a very underrated football player, taking advantage of some very fine blocking up front by that offensive line. And again, that means that Dan Turk, who is in there calling signals for that offensive line, doing his job here in the early going.
First down at the 50-yard line, no score. Just under 10 and a half minutes left to play, first quarter. And again, it is Steve Smith. So rather than Marcus, it has been Smith. And now let's look at the Kansas City. And this is a secondary. Could be the best secondary in the National Football League. Very strong. Second and 9. Screen. Marcus Allen to the 40. Down the sidelines, and he is going to be marked out of bounds at the 24-yard line. 22 yards on the play. And it was Chris Martin who finally took him out.
Looking from the end zone, you get a feeling for this play. As you watch Marcus Allen right there, he'll just fake the block. He lets Derek Thomas, the rookie, through. And there's the screen heading down the sideline behind John Giesick, number 63. Marcus Allen runs that play so beautifully. Not only the running part of it, but the selling part of it. To be a good screen back, you got to make people believe you're trying to block them. Marcus is a good actor.
First down at the Kansas City 24-yard line. And here's Marcus on a sweep to the right side. He cuts back, and he has 4 yards to the 20. There's a flag down. It is 2nd and 6. Walker Lee Ashley with the tackle.
Chiefs players pointing that at a holding call for the Raiders, and yes, that is what it's going to be. Marcus Allen still having some trouble with that foot, but he won't complain about it, Charlie. He said he got tired last week as well, and that was his first game coming in from the holdout.
Number 84 offense, still first down.
Holding on Mike Dial, the tight end, still first down, the ball back at the 32. That is
Sounds good to me.
That's good to me. And he said he really feels good. Because last week, of course, he missed all of preseason as a holdout. Last week, the first contact that he'd had. And he was sore on Monday. Here's the draw. Slips 2 tackles. Now, this is a great play for Marcus because you hear about this all the time. Any other back would have lost 2, maybe 3 yards, and he slips 2 tackles, gets back to the line of scrimmage.
Down in the pits, those offensive linemen trying to clear the way, but 2 fellows got in there a little quickly, and it's Rob McGovern who finally puts the clamps on Marcus. But his ability to avoid tackles has been one of the reasons for his great success. Mike Shanahan over there saying, hey, we thought we had us in position there for a touchdown. Now suddenly it's 2nd and about 20 yards to go.
Schrader comes to Marcus Allen in the right flat. 25-yard line. He's got 8 yards. Walker Lee Ashley with the tackle again. Receiver, 3rd down and 12. Blitz. Touchdown. Schrader read the blitz. He knew that Fernandez would have single coverage, and he hit him for the score.
Mervin Fernandez in for the injured Tim Brown, and Mike Shanahan said we're not going to have any trouble with Fernandez moving in there. He's a quality receiver. What hurts us most is not having the 3rd and 4th receivers. Fernandez right at the top of your screen, and he just blows by Ross on the other side, and no help. Kevin Porter, who's the new face in that secondary, very late coming over for deep help on that side. And of course Fernandez able to pick up that ball.
Gossett will hold. Jaeger will attempt the point after. Trey Junkin with the snap. And so the Raiders unable to even try the conversion. And here is a look at the snap. The ball, when it went down, it simply came out of the grasp of Gossett.
An indication of how important that holder and snapper can be.
The first quarter. Here is the scoring drive. Took just over 4.5 minutes. Schrader to Fernandez, a 25-yard touchdown pass.
Schrader opened the scoring last week with a 26-yard pass, and that Raider deep passing game still healthy here in the early going in Kansas City.
And Jeff Jaeger will kick off to either Kenny Gamble or Danny Copeland.
Good deep kick.
And Gamble will down it, and Kansas City will bring it out to the 20-yard line. Let's go back to the touchdown.
Charlie, Kevin Ross over here on Fernandez is taking him man-to-man. Fernandez just runs it up, and Ross expects help from Porter. Porter is watching Alexander come into here and late getting over. Watch the play develop. Porter has got to come over for deep help on Fernandez, and he is late getting over there, I think, because Schrader kept him locked in with his eyes on that receiver. Good play by the Raiders. 6 points on the board.
Kansas City, second opportunity in offense. They go right back to the running game. Christian Okoye. He'll have 7 on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 3. Bob Golick.
Sure, down there.
And here's our score. The Raiders 6 and the Chiefs nothing.
Loose
This will be
ball.
a first down if the Chiefs retain possession, and they will.
Charlie, but he is going to play quite a bit today. That ankle of his healing enough for him to start making regular appearances. There he is at his familiar left end position. Only appeared at right end last week because he couldn't move to the inside off that ankle.
Al Davis said he'd like about 25 defensive plays from Howie in this game. Saxon close to the first down. James Saxon. It was a first down, and it's close to 10 yards.
Saxon, a slashing kind of ball carrier, reminiscent of a Rocky Bleier. He's just a tough guy. Gets everything he can get. You watch him here. Some good blocking by John Alt, the big left tackle there, to give him a little bit of room. There you see that slashing style of running. Able to get down within about a half a yard of that first down.
And it's second down. Raiders lead it 6-0. And Saxon again. And he spins to Raider territory. To the Los Angeles 49. McElroy with the tackle. First down, Kansas City.
When you're making that kind of yardage on a play, you know that the offensive line is working well. The guy we're watching in there a lot today is number 53, Mike Webster, on the center. And Webby doing a job of leading Golick across the way. And of course, Saxon cutting back against the grain. A good back has to have the vision, the eyes to let him see that hole open up on the backside.
Saxon 2 carries, 18 yards rushing. Okoye back in. First down. Play action fake. Great fake. Down the sideline is Dressel. Makes a move inside and scores from 49 yards out. Chris Dressel. Pounding with the run, set it up with a beautiful fake, and all of the Raiders went with the run. And Nick Lowry adds the extra point. That's now 175 in a row. Chiefs on top, 7-6. Charlie Jones along with Merlin Olsen, scoring drive, 80 yards, 5 plays. And it took just over 3 minutes. A 49-yard touchdown pass to DeBerg to Chris Dressel. His 8th career touchdown, his first since joining Kansas City. Played his collegiate ball at Stanford. And now Nick Lowry to kick it off. Through the hands of Bobby Joe Edmonds and through the back edge of the end zone for the touchback, and will bring it back out.
And the sun bothering Edmonds as he tried to field it. We talked about having that sun in your eyes. Edmonds trying to look up into it here, and he had
5-yard penalty.
Jerry Seaman, the referee.
Over there in Honolulu, they were afraid that he wasn't going to be able to catch anything, and they actually made a choice at the kickoff of putting the sun at their backs so that the other team would have to face that. And Baiseka-Hima ends up fumbling a couple of punts, ends up scoring for the AFC. They ended up winning the ball game.
Now, from the perspective of the return man.
He's got this one.
To the 20, the 25. Nice return to the 30-yard line. Costly penalty, 18 yards in the return. Costly penalty on the kickoff. Angelo Snipes, the man who was offsides of.
In the area of kick returns, where they simply don't have anyone with that great speed and the ability to break those long returns.
Steve Smith and Marcus Allen are the running backs. And here's Marcus over the top. 4 yards to the 35. Second down and 6. All right, mark the time. 3:39 when the first altercation broke out. This is a rivalry that goes back preseason, actually to about, it was the last day of July of 1960 when they met at Kezar Stadium, and it has been a heated rivalry over the years, and it continues in that mode.
Inside, you're going to watch Turk right here working on Bill Moss, the Pro Bowl center for the ASC last year, and Turk getting a handhold on Moss. You see his hand up around. Moss furious at that, does not like being held. I'm sure came up with a few words for Turk on that last play.
This is Mueller in motion. Now he goes back to the backfield to block, and Schrader in the pocket over the middle and has the first down. Willie Goff coming back to the 45-yard line where he caught it. He needed 6. He got 10. First down for Los Angeles. And again, the running back and or the threat of the running back sets up the play.
Certainly does. And we talked about the importance of Galt's speed. Galt traditionally has hurt people more on the outside than on the inside. And one of the things that Kansas City wants to do to Galt today is rough him up physically. This Kansas City defense plays a huge amount of bump and run, almost Raider football.
Schrader's shoulder is not bothering him. He is 4 of 4 for 68 yards. As pressure from the outside, still gets it off, and it is caught.
What a great catch by Steve Mueller.
Vance Mueller. 29 yards. The defender was in a perfect position. Mueller just played the ball better than the defender did.
Actually had his arms wrapped around the defender. You can't play a receiver any better than this. I don't know how you go about staying man-to-man any better. Look where the defender is. Right there.
Kevin Porter.
Porter is right on top of him, but Mueller just works around. Watch the catch here. Just reaches around and catches the ball against Porter's back. Porter in perfect possession, but the ball is caught anyway. The disadvantage of man-to-man coverage. That defensive back never knows where the ball is.
26-yard line, first down. Marcus jumps to the outside. He goes to the 20. Second down. The hole had been closed down. He gets to the outside and still has 6 yards.
You don't draw that play up that way, but the great running backs sense the opening. They have the vision to know where the hole is, and there wasn't one inside. Marcus found one and picks up the yardage, picks up 6. Had he gone inside as the play is drawn, would not have made much at all.
Marcus again. A couple of yards is going to be third down and 2.
We talked at
City. Last week, the Raiders so effective on third down conversions. 10 of 16. Marcus.
very close.
I think Kansas City stopped it.
They may have done.
Kevin Ross.
Charlie, the significance of that number last week on third down conversions, the Raiders were last in the NFL last year on third down conversions.
And let's see, while they have the measurement, quickly we'll check the ticker. Washington now 20-0 in front of the Eagles. You saw the tie. Dallas, Atlanta tied. Miami 17-0 out in front. And New Orleans 14-0 in front of Green Bay. Those are the early games. The score here, Kansas City 7, the Raiders 6. And the measurement shows just about a yard shy. And this is the score.
You've got to wonder how much that missed extra point will play into the strategy in this ball game. Well, it obviously is having an impact here. Points in the long run than you would out of taking the field goal at every fourth down opportunity.
But if you don't, you have wasted 3 points. And now Schrader turns and calls a timeout. The crowd is into the ball game here at Arrowhead. We'll be back in a moment. Chiefs, by the fact that they should go for the field goal, they've turned against it. They've turned against it again.
Well, Charlie, I think the traditional football logic in the NFL has always been you get the chance for the sure 3 points, and basically that's a pretty sure 3 points. You take it. But that's a feeling that is changing. Mike Shanahan obviously rowing with the new people, that new rowboat that says we're going to go on for it on fourth down and take a chance here.
I guess I'm a traditionalist and you're nouveau.
Well, I didn't say that that's necessarily my philosophy. I'm a bit of a coward. I probably would have kicked the field goal.
4th and 1. Could the game turn on this play? Marcus has it to the 14-yard line. Marcus Allen over the top, picks up the first down as we take the countdown to the end of the first quarter. The score, Kansas City 7 and Los Angeles 6.
I tell you, all those gremlins getting to me out on that field, they said take it and dive to the turf, and I did.
Nick Lowry complimented you. He said if you hadn't, you held on to the ball. Hans Olsen did it again. That if you had waited one more bounce, it was going to take a skip and would have gone underneath.
Well, Charlie, I was afraid I was going to drop that football and embarrass myself. And when I did catch it, I knew if I went down, I might hurt the elbow. I said, to heck with it. I take it to the ground.
I'll announce in pain, right? That's all right. First down. Over the middle, pass is complete. Out of the backfield is Steve Davis. Excuse me, Steve Smith. I said Steve Davis. Steve Smith. Here are the first quarter statistics. Oh, they're pretty even. Pretty even. Time of possession also. That's a reason. That's a balance of statistics in the first quarter. Steve Smith, the fullback.
I mentioned he's an underrated player,
Yeah.
Charlie. One reason is he can do it all. He'll block for you, carry the football, and he's an excellent pass receiver as well.
Second down and 3 at the 7. Marcus.
Charlie, the test of that decision made by Shanahan to go for it on 4th down is obviously going to be in whether they get it into the end zone. They made the first down, but they still need to convert. If they were to fumble a ball down in this territory or come up short, then they obviously haven't gained by picking up that first down, except that it would be a much shorter field goal down here than it was earlier.
Marcus Allen has 21 yards in 8 carries. First down, goal to go. Play action. Touchdown. Trey Jucken with his parents in the stands.
Brother Mike, a member of the Kansas City Chiefs team, and their parents obviously will celebrate that, but we have a flag on the field. There's Mike right there. Officials meeting. Let's see what it is. Flag was dropped right on the goal line.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, number 35, Los Angeles. A 5-yard penalty will be assessed on the succeeding kickoff.
Steve Smith, who had just made a fine play, makes apparently a bonehead play there, although it will not cost them the touchdown. It is after the play. It will be assessed on the kickoff. Boy, you can't lose your poise out there, Charlie.
No. It is good. And the Raiders back in front. 13-7. And how many plays?
Oh, okay. All right. That's a pick. Sure, it's a pick. Yeah. Good. Good.
You're going to sit, they sit on the Kansas City side because we could get better seats. But the brothers would not tell us where they were sitting exactly. Otherwise, we would have tried to get a shot of them on camera. But I know that they are celebrating.
Celebrating and hurting at the same time. That's a problem with having a son on each team.
There's the drive, 69 yards in 10 plays. Kenny Campbell. Campbell outside the 30, almost broken. Just a defender away, 22 yards on the return. Let's go back to the touchdown. Kansas City behind for the second time in the ball game. A first down on their own 33. Christian Okoye, King with the tackle.
Jeff Jager out of Washington, and who's going to make the tackle? I'll tell you, the kickers don't necessarily like that.
Also, he was born and raised in Kent, Washington. He's a Husky, went to the University of Washington. When he came to Southern California, he said, why does everybody ask me how I pronounce my name? Read it. It's Jager.
Well, he shouldn't come down to visit you then. You live in the Yoa?
Because we would think that it would be Jaeger. And he drives a Jaguar. No.
Jaeger and a Jaguar. It's that Spanish J that gets us. But he says it's Jager. How would anybody think it was anything else?
Second down, play action to Bird. Lots of time. Pass is complete. Emil Harry. Harry is out of bounds at the 49-yard line. First down. Gain of 12. Flags are down. And pushing and shoving. Remember, it started earlier, and now tempers are really beginning to flare. And Marty Schottenheimer is right in the middle of it.
Livid. Schottenheimer is livid.
Yes.
They had to restrain him.
He's got his glasses off. Look out for that man when he takes his glasses off.
At that moment, he's an old linebacker.
Clear out of the room.
Unnecessary roughness. Number 36 defense. First down.
It is on Terry McDaniel.
Charlie, the officials very hard on that, especially in a game that traditionally has relatively strong emotions running in it.
There's no relativity about the decision. Right. Do have strong emotions. And here's Herman Hurd. And now let's go to New York City, and Bob
will be there.
Yes. Look forward to it. They played a good game against Buffalo last week. They could be a surprise.
Loss. They said that Shula and some of his coaches had tears in the eyes. I can understand why. They had it won and lost it in the last second.
Howie Long back in on defense, and here's Okoye. Over the years, you have heard this man's name pronounced Christian Okoye. We asked him yesterday because we heard that we had been pronouncing it wrong. He says, yes, he says everybody has. The correct pronunciation is Okoye. So hopefully from now on it will be Okoye.
Nobody in recent times has snapped the ball more than this gentleman. He's an Ironman. Let's watch him snap it live. You're looking through the legs down in the pits as we're watching Mike Webster.
Kenny Campbell, the ball carrier, and Bill Pickel with the tackle.
They're coming up short on that play. 3rd and about 2. And I believe we're going to see a kicker on the field.
Philadelphia is on the board. Washington has 20. Cincinnati in front of Pittsburgh. That is expected. Dallas, Atlanta getting a little closer. Miami, you heard the update a moment ago. And New Orleans still shutting out Green Bay. And here it is Los Angeles 13, Kansas City 7. From the 37-yard line, a 47-yard field goal attempt.
Is he important to this team or what?
Look at Nick Lowry. It's good from 47 yards away. And Kansas City pulls within 3. Raiders 13, Chiefs 10. 10:02 left to go. At the beginning of his career, he was cut 11 times by 8 different teams. And he held out this year.
He did, Charlie, but I think a kicker is probably the only player that can sometimes benefit from not going to camp.
He is a good one. Bobby Joe Edmonds at the 5. Formerly with Seattle and then with Detroit, and now with the Raiders. Rob McGovern with the tackle, 18 yards on the return. Let me help over to the bench. And of course, as soon as we have a report, we will pass it on. Merlin?
You're wondering how he got hurt. Here's Angelo Snipes. Steve Strahan, the man who's going to block him right here on the left-hand side. And it looked to me like he actually just did something himself as he tried to cut to his left, because it's his leg, obviously, that's bothering him. And his legs were not twisted as he came down. The artificial turf sometimes grabs you and doesn't let that knee turn.
First down for the Raiders from their own 23-yard line. They lead by 3, 13-10. Schrader looks left, goes deep right, and it is incomplete. Now this is the first incomplete pass of the ball game. 9:47 to go in the second quarter. Schrader is now 7 of 8 for 107 yards. DeBerg 3 of 4, but remember, the one that he missed was intercepted, so they've all been completed. Some not necessarily to the right jerseys. Yes.
And Charlie, even though that pass was not complete, the message and the warning is clear to the Kansas City defense. We're not afraid to stretch you deep. Kansas City with 2 great cornerbacks, and Shanahan said the guys that concern me most out there are Lewis and Ross. Not only do they play you tough on the pass, but their run support is the best of any pair of cornerbacks in football.
2nd and 10. Now they come back to the run, and they come back to Marcus Allen. Just outside the 30-yard line. He'll have about 8 yards on the play. A reminder to our viewers that we'll be selecting the Budweiser Most Valuable Player for today's game at the end of the football game.
Marcus Allen told me in the locker room that he probably shouldn't have played in the second half last week. He said, I really got tired and I was ineffective in the second half. He has played a whole lot here in the first half of this ball game, and you got to believe he's getting a little tired. Well, he's getting a moment's break here as he heads to the sideline.
Snipes, good news. No, it's good news, though. It's a right knee sprain. Questionable, but possibly he could return. Here's the quick out, and it is good. Vance Mueller, and a first down. Both quarterbacks with a hot hand.
I talked to Schrader about that shoulder.
What is he? Any pain?
He's in a lot of pain, and it's his left shoulder, separation of the joint, separation of the collarbone, and you can feel it. It's jumped up on that left side. I said, will you do anything special? Will you put any padding on it, any tape? He said, no, because if I do that, I'm going to worry about it. And if I worry about it, it's going to take away from my performance.
I would think if it hurt me, it would take away from my performance.
Well, you got to learn to ignore that pain. He's doing it so far in this ball game.
First down, sweep right side. It is Marcus Allen. And Marcus will go close to the 40-yard line. Give him 6. And it's second down and 4. Marcus now averaging just under 3.5 yards a carry. 34 yards in 10 carries. Walker Lee Ashley makes the stop.
Marcus came up a bit upset at the end of this play. Let's see if we can understand why. I think maybe mad at himself. Figured if he could have gotten over the top, he could have made some extra yardage. That's how tough and competitive he is. He made about 6. He wanted 10.
Oh, he wanted 60.
Or 60. He'll take it either way.
Second and 4. Marcus again. There's nothing there. Now he goes outside. Now there, I cannot believe this. Now there's 2 yards, and there's just no way that you can get 2 yards out of that play.
Absolutely great body control by Marcus, but that's something that he is not going to do all day long. He doesn't have, right now, doesn't have the energy, doesn't have the ability to keep sustaining that. But watch him just jump outside, and look at the body control there, twisting and turning to get the extra yardage. His running style, very upright, much like Okoye, but Okoye doesn't have the lateral movement, the body control and the balance that Marcus Allen has.
He's such a pleasure to watch. Third down and 2. Schrader over the middle. It is there. Trey Junkin again. 30-yard line of the Chiefs. A pickup of 28. Deron Cherry with the tackle. A first down, and again, second time in this drive. Second time in the drive. Raiders have converted on third down.
When you can run the football, you can keep that defense honest, and you're going to find seams. You're going to find room downfield. Linebacker trying to follow up on that play. That's Chris Martin, number 57, trying to stay with Trey Junkin, and he just was not able to do it.
Schrader now 9 of 10, 139 yards, 2 touchdowns. Back to the ground. Steve Smith. Now let's go to New York City. Bob Costas in an update. Oh, thank you, Bob. Boy, we're delving into all angles today, aren't we?
We're catching them all today.
You got them. All right, they come into our net. Steve Smith.
Marty Schottenheimer came into this game as a linebacker coach, became a defensive coordinator, then he had 2 huddles. You wouldn't even understand the language. Sounds like somebody speaking Greek and somebody else speaking Russian.
And we have an example of that for you in a moment. It's really interesting. 3rd and 3. Schrader wants to set a screen. Now he's got to go deep, and it's knocked away. Good defensive play. Horton, the intended receiver, and Chris Martin knocked it down.
Martin, a man who was there and missed the coverage on the last play. He didn't miss that one. Excellent coverage on Ethan Horton. Ethan, by the way, started his career a #1 draft pick here in Kansas City, a running back then. But watch the coverage. Martin, who came here after being turned loose up in Viking country, doing a good job on that play.
It's 4th and 3, and so the Raiders will go with a field goal attempt here.
Well,
39 yards.
They're not going for this one, Charlie, and I think it's the yardage that dictates here.
Definitely. 4th and 3. And it is good. Jeff Jaeger from 39 yards away. And the Raiders stretch their margin. They're back in front by 6, 16 to 10. Continuing to convert on third down during those drives. Jaeger to kick off. Gamble and Copeland are the return men.
Good high kick. Huge hang time on that kick, and obviously no return. Boy, that's about as good a kickoff as you can get. Not only deep and into the end zone, but way up in the air. Play for me. He said, well, a 3-deep zone, everybody runs it. The Raiders call it Orange Jet Cover 3.
Okoye with the yard. Go ahead.
Go back that. Now the Raiders would call it Orange Jet Cover 3 if you were in the Cleveland huddle, or now the Kansas City huddle. It would be closed Fox straight Cover 5. exactly the same defense, and the different numbers, totally different terminology. Adolph said, I have to carry a card because sometimes my mind clicks back to the old Cleveland terminology, and that is difficult for me. So I carry a card with all of the names on it.
I like the closed fox one better.
Closed fox sounds interesting.
It's got enough. It seems like they're having more fun in that way. Okoye. We're looking at 3rd and 9, and all of a sudden the defense of the Raiders has clamped down on the Chiefs running game.
The big surprise, I think, of last week's opener in Los Angeles between the Raiders and the San Diego Chargers was how well this defense played. They had had a very rough preseason to put the pressure now on Kansas City's offense.
4 minutes and 12 seconds. That is the time remaining in the first half. Kansas City has converted 1 of 3 previous 3rd down opportunities. This is 3rd and 8 from the shotgun to Bird. Just drops it back underneath the coverage. Rob Thomas goes to close to the 30-yard line. Now, the official spotted it right there. Now, remember, this was a touchback. This was a touchback, so you don't have to measure it here. You put the ball down. If it's touching that white line, if you're touching that white line, it's a first down.
Well, yes, unless Charlie, the lines are painted crooked.
No, they won't. They should not do that. They should not use the chains here.
I think if I were on the Raider sideline, even though they said it looks like a first down, I'd make them measure it. And I think I would do the same if I were Kansas City, because they don't always point those lines exactly to the fraction. And that's what they do. They're going to measure it. But I think you're right. I think it's going to be short.
If it touches the white line, it's there. If it doesn't touch it, it's not. They know that. Officials know that.
You mean those lines are 10 yards apart, Charlie?
Of course they are. And now we're going to have, little drum roll, the first punt of the ball game.
Are they?
And they are not going to punt.
Yeah, it certainly looked like they would. Well, the Raiders gambled on a 4th down early. Now, deep in his own territory, way down in his own territory. Marty, sometimes the coaches will do that. Let's see.
Come off that line, boys. Come off the ball.
Quarterback sneak is there over the right side of the center. There's the snap. He did it. DeBerg pulled him off with the snap count. You were right. Good call.
I don't think they were going to run a play, Charlie.
You're right.
Now, question, did he draw them off with movement or just with his voice?
Encroachment, number 74 defense, first down.
He got away with it. Close to drawing off. Officials could have called it. The Bob Greasy rule, I believe. He was a master of that.
That's called a hard count, Charlie.
The Bird deep. 50-yard line. Carlos Carson had it at the 49. They're going to make the tackle just to the Kansas City side. They'll mark it the 50.
Picks up the first down.
50-yard line. Raiders on top, 16-10. Moving on the 3-minute mark. Time remaining. The first half flag is down. Okoye and Jackie Shipp. Okoye with the ball, Shipp with the tackle. And it will go against the... Less than 3 minutes to go in the second quarter. Play action. All alone is Jonathan Hayes. Oh, no! Hardest pass in the world to catch because you started your celebration.
Last week in Denver, James Saxon had one going into the end zone. The same kind of pass and dropped it. But you're right, Charlie, when you're out there all by yourself, all kinds of gremlins get into your head. This is a touchdown. Hey, nobody's around. Tuck it away and go. Where am I going to move? Uh-oh, I forgot to catch the football.
What happens, you start thinking about the picture on the front page of the Kansas City Star tomorrow morning. Those things really go through a receiver's mind at that time.
Jonathan Hayes, an underrated player in this league, one of the best blocking tight ends in football, and his pass catching is improving. Well, not on that play, but it is improving, Charlie.
Second down and 18.
Too much time.
He is involved. Now, you want fan involvement? He is involved. Second and 23. Good play and a smart call going back to Jonathan Hayes, and he gets 10, 12 yards back, 11 yards. But now he has his confidence back, and that is more important than the yardage. Kansas City with 4 wide receivers. In the coverage, and it is caught. Outstanding reception by Emil Harry. From the brink, the Chiefs have come back. A first down at the Raiders' 33-yard line.
We have seen some incredible catches so far in this game. The one by Vance Mueller.
16, Chiefs 10, Kansas City driving. Oh, it was 2nd and 23. Back at the Kansas City 37 is now a first down at the Raiders 33. James Saxon, fresh legs. He's been out of the ball game for a few plays. Jackie Shipp makes the tackle.
Charlie, we talked at the beginning of this game about Okoye being the workhorse in this running game. That has not been the case. Okoye has been relatively ineffective. Saxon and Herman Hurd have run well, especially Saxon, who has been the slasher in this game.
2nd down and 3. Outside the Raiders 26. Play action to Okoye, and all alone in the right flat is Saxon. 8-yard line, first down, goal to go.
Confidence.
First down, goal to go. Okoye, touchdown. It's good. Kansas City 17, Raiders 16. The Los Angeles Raiders, Al Davis, has been in during this drive, and he has been, there he is, and he is very much involved in what is going on 3 boxes down from us.
You bet he is.
Yes.
He's a football man. Was a head coach for this Raider team initially.
When we talked with Deron Cherry, he said Al is back. He said you can look at the films, you can tell this is an Al Davis ball club. He is back. He is involved. Oh yeah, it's been a long. I don't remember seeing him in the coaches box in a while.
The coaches remember.
Oh yes. Well, they'll know. All right, here we go. Bobby Joe Edmonds, 5 yards deep. He'll down it. We'll bring it out to the 20-yard line. That timeout when they kind of mauled it over in the first quarter, whether or not they were going to go for the field goal, or I think Schrader didn't like the defense. That means they have 2 timeouts left. 59 seconds. Time remaining first half. There's pressure. It's a screen over the middle, and it's there. Then looking, Marcus Allen looked almost as if he wanted to lateral the ball. And he spins his way to the 30 and across the 30-yard line, and he has a first down.
An absolutely remarkable play from Marcus with nowhere to go, and most backs at that point would surrender. I think Marcus would gladly have lateraled the ball too, Charlie, but there was no one there. But he simply rolls out and makes some yardage out of the play. Another first down.
He's a traveling highlight film. Schrader knocked down. Chiefs go for it. Do they have it? No. Raiders retain possession.
Was that Derek Thomas? Yes, I think it was. The #1 draft choice. He held out for a while, a little late coming in, starting to make his presence felt. Right-hand side of your screen, number 58. And there he is, folks. He said, hey, I'm here in time to strip that ball away.
And for Kansas City, this is their first sack of the season.
Bad news for the Raiders as one of the offensive linemen is down.
It's Wisniewski.
It's the rookie.
Steve Wisniewski, number 76.
They're looking at the ankle, I believe, of Wisniewski. Wisniewski told me before the game, he said, one of the things that concerns me today is not having Mospar in there, because it's out of your screen, and I believe that that's Wisniewski right there, locked up with Moss. Oh yes, there you saw it. You see him grab that foot, and I think again that's the turf. That's the turf. The players in the NFL basically, by and large, hate the artificial turf. It just doesn't give.
And historically, the Raiders in Oakland on grass, in the Coliseum on grass, historically they have always played better on the real thing.
The only players that love the turf are the kickers, Charlie.
Good point. 21 seconds, time remaining. The ball back at the 20-yard line.
Draw again.
And the Chief defense now taking over. They say we've got the football. No, they say we'll take a timeout. They were pointing and waving. 14 seconds. With a 23-yard field goal and Okoye scoring from 8 yards out. Quick rundown, bringing you up to date with 14 seconds to go in the first half. Third down. Marcus. Down at the 25-yard line. Now they're stopping the clock. Here's what's happening. I can tell you exactly what's happening. There's a fight going on is what's happening. The official is right in the middle of it. I mean, we are slugging each other, and Steve Wright has to be young because he's got his helmet on. Never take your helmet off. They're setting up a free catch. Fair catch. They're setting up off of this punt. They're going to fair catch the punt. And off of the fair catch, Nick Lowery is going to go for a long, long field goal.
That might be an NFL record if he can make it, Charlie.
If they can make it.
Depending on the punt. Let's see what happens here. We got a roughness call, personal foul. Ooh.
Against Kansas City.
And of course that changes the whole complexion.
That changes the whole complexion. Now they'll be out of range. Because
and of course the object there would be to get an interference call if possible, because the play in the game in the half cannot end on a foul against the defense.
And you're right. 3 wide receivers to the near side. Schrader has completed 10 of 12 for 148 yards and 2 touchdowns in the first half.
Not bad for a guy with a bad shoulder.
Has pressure. There's no time to throw. He's just getting away, getting rid of it. Don't let him hit the shoulder. Go into the locker room. Smart move. Good defensive play by Kansas City. Interesting, very competitive, very close first half.
And I think both teams doing a good job of marking up first downs, rushing yards almost dead even, as are the passing yards. Turnovers. The Chiefs picking up 1 on that side, and the Raiders with an edge in controlling the football. But Charlie, I think the difference in this game, as we mentioned, 2 things: the missed extra point, otherwise it'll be 17-17, the decision by the Raiders to go for 7 and not for 3 when they were down there with a chance to kick, which turned out to put touchdown on the board for them.
And the Raiders will have the opening opportunity of the second half. Nick Lowery with the ball rolling off the tee gets his second opportunity to tee it up and kick it. And here's Bobby Joe Edmonds from the 6-yard line. He's to the 15, the 20, the 25, the 30. There's Lowery waiting for him. Lowery really just kind of screened him, so he had to come back inside, and he could be picked off by Kenny Gamble. 43 yards on the return by Bobby Joe Edmonds, who made the Pro Bowl as a specialist when he was with the Seattle Seahawks.
Bobby Joe Edmonds saying, hey, who was it that said we couldn't replace Tim Brown's ability as a kick returner? Bobby Joe has always had the ability to just turn it into gear and head upfield, and Kansas City special teams made a mistake on that one. Lowery giving him a little toreador there.
That's right.
He said, hey, yo,
or go that way. Just shy of the 50-yard line. First down. Bobby Joe Edmonds played his collegiate ball at the University of Arkansas. Little play action fake by Schrader, has time, drops it off underneath the coverage to Steve Smith.
Charlie, might be a good time to talk about Schrader's passing difficulties. In the preseason, when he was really having all kinds of trouble, very inaccurate passing, he was having trouble throwing the football. And he said, what is wrong here? What is wrong? So he would, well, one of the problems he was having, he wasn't seeing the offense as well as he should have. You see right there, there's a man who's open, Willie Galt. But the other problem he was having was delivering the football accurately. We'll talk more about that.
Second down and 3 following that gain of 7. Here's Marcus. And he's got the first down to the 37-yard line.
Let's go back to that conversation about Schrader. Schrader's father, who was watching him carefully, said, I don't think you're holding that football when you're passing up as high as you used to. And Schrader went back and looked at films of early 1986, his best year, and sure enough, he had dropped the ball down. He said it came as a result of a shoulder injury to his right shoulder, and he'd started to pull that ball down. It had affected the way he threw the ball. He wasn't throwing it as well. He's tried during this year to get that ball up higher, and it's helped his passing.
And the shoulder injury he has this year is to the collarbone of the left, on the left side.
On the opposite side.
Fake of the draw. Didn't fool anybody. Chris Martin. And the main man was Dan
Saliamua.
I knew he was going to do something. I worked on it all night long and still couldn't get it.
I talked to you, Charlie, a moment ago. I said he is a fine young nose tackle. He has great power, great quickness. Schrader, a little play action fake, didn't fool anybody. He had to step up because of the pressure from the backside. Martin, one of the people pressuring, looked like the tackle from the other side, Leonard, or the end, Leonard Griffin on the other side. But Saliamua makes his presence felt very quickly.
Saliamua, Sweetwater High School, National City, California.
You know that area.
It's my area. Second down and 18, loss of 8. Schrader with protection, knocked away. Oh. Good defensive play. Was that Saliamua got him again? Hey, we may not miss Bill Moss at all.
Well, I tell you, getting into the ball game, his adrenaline is soaring at this moment. Watch the nose tackle, number 97, working right there after 68. Let's pick it up as you see him. Whoa, if we can find him here. Right in the middle of your screen. Get a chance to watch him. Saliamua driving inside, gets enough penetration, and trained as good defensive linemen are. The minute that quarterback shows the throw, the hands go up in the air. He rejected that one. That was like volleyballs.
Third down and 18 at the 45. Going deep. A flag is down. Incomplete at the 2-yard line. Flag was dropped at the 38-yard line on the near side.
And if that's a penalty against this defense, that would be costly. They have played well in this first drive. Shut the Raiders down. Oh, they're saying
illegal use of the hands.
Illegal use of the hands against the defense. And they said they were going, right to the face. That's what they called right there.
Good call. Good call.
That's what they called. You're not allowed to put those hands to the face. The Chiefs said they were going to be physical with Galt, but you can't use that kind of technique.
First down at the 40-yard line. Automatic first down with the penalty. Steve Smith. 5 yards to the 35. Second and 5, and Derek Thomas makes the tackle. Steve Smith, 6 carries, 35 yards rushing. So the rushing attack of the Raiders continues with Marcus Allen and Steve Smith. Marcus Allen, 14 carries, 47 yards. Smith, right at the first down marker. Saliamua again. Let's check the ticker. It is the Raiders 16, Kansas City 17. With 11.5 minutes to go, third quarter. The Raiders have converted half of their third down opportunities, 3 of 6. And they have 3 tight ends in this set. And they're throwing. Schrader is going to scramble for it. He's got it and is pulled down. There's a flag down, and another flag is down, and he is pulled down. And you want to say, look out for that left shoulder. It's going to go against Kansas City because Duron Cherry is saying no.
I think it was a late hit. Looked like he was down and somebody piled in on the top of him.
And there was an earlier flag. There was a gain of 12 by Schrader in the first down. Now we have to sort out both flags.
One of the reasons that Al Davis wanted Schrader because of his running ability.
Holding number 27 defense. Penalty decline. personal foul while the quarterback was sliding, feet first, came in, 50.
I disagree. He was not sliding feet first. He was grabbed by the jersey and pulled down. That is a mistake.
You heard Cherry say he wasn't sliding.
He wasn't sliding. You've got to make the slide motion.
I think you're right, but let's watch the play. Schrader's strength gets him away from the rush. That was Thomas, the rookie, in there who misses the tackle.
No, that's not a slide.
Well,
no.
In essence, Charlie, the action looks like a slide.
But
the
it
defense
wasn't.
has to react to that.
It wasn't because the defensive player had the jersey and pulled him down and forced his feet in front of him. That's a terrible call that could cost the ball game.
We got your dander up here, sir.
Well, I just don't think this is too good a ball game to be turned on an official's call. Marcus Allen.
Chris Martin, number 57, in on the tackle.
Disagree, would all wear the same suit, wouldn't we?
We sure would.
Second down. Incomplete. And a flag is down. And that flag came from deep in the end zone.
Walker Lee Ashley, number 84, or number 54, is covering on Dial, number 84.
And they're going to call offensive pass interference.
We'll have to let them sort that out, but it could well be that Dial used his hands, pushed off on the pattern.
Now it's an incomplete pass. Do you want to refuse the penalty and use up
Pass
the down?
interference. Number 84 offense, still second down.
And it was 84 Dial. Now the reason that flag was late, Charlie, if the ball is not thrown, there's no penalty on that.
Then it would be like a blocking call, right?
Dial, number 84, and let's find him in there. Here he is, right here. He's the man to watch. Let's see if we can see when he comes out of here. Little delay. Whoops. Got him in the wrong spot. That was another 4. That wasn't Dial. There's Dial right there. There's Dial pushing off on Ashley Lee. Walker Lee Ashley.
And the ball back to the 23-yard line.
Ooh.
Incomplete. Mueller the intended receiver, and he was open, and Schrader just threw him a little bit low.
Schrader, whose accuracy was so remarkable in first half, has had a couple that have gone down low on him here in the second half.
What happens to you in halftime? Do you lose your rhythm? Do you get a little cool? Do you cool down? Do you have to warm up again? You have to start all over?
Some of all of the above, and I think in particular when you're injured, Charlie, because when you sit for a while, that shoulder, I'm sure, stiffened up a little bit on Schrader. He may be feeling a lot more pain here at the beginning of this second half than he did in the first half of this ball game.
Third down and goal at the 23. To the end zone, and it is incomplete. Fernandez, the intended receiver, and Kevin "The Rock" Ross was the defender.
Albert Lewis has gotten an awful lot of notoriety for his play at the corner, but over the past 5 years, there aren't any quarterbacks in football who have had better consecutive seasons. And number 31, Kevin "The Rock" Ross. Look how physical this coverage is. He is right on top of the receiver. Goes up with him, sacrifices some height, but still gets his hand on that football.
40-yard field goal attempt by Jeff Jager. He is hit from 39. And it's good. And the Raiders go back in front. They lead by 2. 19-17. We'll be back with a kickoff. Third quarter, the Raiders lead by 2. 19-17. Good ball game.
Certainly is, Charlie, and a lot of fuel, if you will, for people who will be dissecting this game over the next few days. Questionable calls, interesting choices on the field, and lots of football action.
Jeff Jager to kick off. Kenny Gamble and Danny Copeland are the deep backs. Boy, it is hot. Really, he hangs that up. Here's Copeland to the 10, 15, 18-yard line.
The height of that kick allows the coverage to get downfield. And as you see, they end up short. It's real hang time for a kicker.
Kansas City from their own 19-yard line, first down. Okoye opens the action in the second half for the Chiefs offense. He has 4. It'll be second down and 6. Interesting, when we talked to DeBerg yesterday, he said that when I throw an interception, because we were talking about last week's ballgame, I always play better. Remember, he had an interception in the first half, and he played better since then.
Charlie said an early interception. It just seemed to get the adrenaline pumping. He said, I don't know why that is. Probably trying to atone for the early interception, but they were never really able to come back from that 17-point deficit that they gave up early last week.
The coaches suggested that he throw the interception in warm-up.
Yeah, I don't blame him.
Incomplete. Flag is down. That'll be pass interference against the Raiders. Jonathan Hayes, the intended receiver. And Cincinnati still in front. Dallas and Atlanta just about the same. New England has that field goal, 24-3. And New Orleans continues to lead Green Bay. And here, it's the Raiders 19, Kansas City 17. 8.5 minutes to go in the third.
Action passing, therefore, is not as effective.
Third down and 11. And we have jumping.
Mark Addix, number 61, backing out of there. Let's see what they call, because we did have a defender out of there early.
Howie Long.
False start prior to the snap. Number 61 offense. Still third down.
Has a stronger arm under move from that side than Howie Long.
Third and 16. On the draw.
First down. Big.
Kenny Gamble. Beautiful fake by DeBerg. 21 yards and the first down. Surprise, surprise. Zepp Lee with the tackle.
You watched Howie using a rip technique on that last play. On this play, he's reading pass all the way. Addix lets him in, and then Howie just didn't release and get a hand on Gamble. A little late reacting. Back and watch DeBerg, little handoff out of that shotgun. Caught the Raiders, and that's a great job of running by Kenny Gamble. What a nice job.
Good play calling. First down. And here's Herman Hurd. Maybe a yard. Well, let's mark it no gain. Second down and 10. Now, we've had several injuries. Let's update you on what has happened. Wisniewski is out with a sprained ankle for the Raiders. Angelo Snipes is out with a sprained knee. Saxon a sprained left shoulder. He is questionable, and Bill Moss was ejected for throwing his helmet, and that's the rule book call. That's automatic. There's a fine too involved, I'm sure.
Anytime you're ejected.
Is it expensive fine?
I think it's $500, Charlie.
That's expensive. That's dinner for 10. Hurd alone in the right flat. Close to the first down, maybe a yard short. As Terry McDaniel makes
this third and short.
And they've converted 3 of 6 third down opportunities. Raiders lead by 2, 19-17. 6.5 time remaining third quarter. Okoye diving, and he's got it. Needed 1, he got 2 to the 37 in the first down. He's an interesting runner. It seems as if you count him out, and then he goes for the touchdown from 8 yards out, and you wonder why he gets it here, and he, as big as he is, he manages to go over the top and participate into the onside kick at scrimmage.
You see a lot of pads on those elbows.
Yes. Play action.
Oh,
Dressel.
Play by Dressel. Boy, that was a nice play by Dressel. Tom Bent.
2 receptions, 58 yards, and a touchdown. Okoye, he's got the first down. He drew a crowd, and he continued, and we've got another flag down.
Crowd back there where Okoye was going to the ground, and there were about 3 Raiders. We may have a late hit or a face mask back there. No, Well, that's sad.
Holding call against Kansas City.
Sad for Kansas City anyway. A late flag coming in there. Looked like it was called almost after the tackle. Hammer said we have self-destructed, and usually it's the different people making mistakes, but that's the kind of thing he was talking about.
2nd and 8. And Hurd goes to the 34. So it's going to be 3rd down and 7.
75 Howie Long on that tackle. I sat down with Howie on Friday night. The Raiders had a little dinner, and Howie said he was eating a great big hamburger. I said, "Howie, you like that hamburger?" He said, "Yeah." He said, "I tried that no meat stuff for a while," but he said, "When you grow up on Twinkies and burgers, you got to eat Twinkies and burgers." He's a character.
They mark it at the 33, so it's 3rd down and 6. 4 wide receivers. 3rd down conversions. Reasonably equal. There's pressure, has to get rid of it. There was a blitz coming from the outside, and that was Townsend.
Nobody
picked him up.
tried to block Townsend.
Yes.
Obviously, either a mistake or offense out of construction, as they used to say, because you can't just leave your quarterback there with nowhere to go. Townsend being used as an up linebacker in this situation.
And Nick Lowry is going to come up with a 51-yard field goal attempt.
Historic if he makes it, Charlie.
That's right. It will be his 18th field goal from over 50 yards. He is tied with Jan Stenerud at 17. And he said at this range, the goalposts narrow down. Partially blocked. And it is no good. Did they get a hand on it?
I don't know, but it sure didn't miss by much. That ball looked to be hanging up there a little.
Didn't
Very
seem
close.
as if it exploded. We'll take another look when we come back. We have a timeout, and the Raiders continue to lead 19 to 6.
Anyway, it was dead on. Believe me, had it been just a few feet further, it would have been good.
We'll show you right after this, the end of it. Here's Marcus Allen from the 33 out to the 39-yard line. Gain of 6. It'll be 2nd down and 4. And now here is the end of the attempt.
Notice where this ball ends up. Even though it is slightly short, you can't see from that angle except it hits beyond the goalpost. But notice how well centered. That ball straight on. A little more foot into that one, and there would have been a record broken here today.
He's got a new center, and he really likes him. We'll mention that in a moment.
New holder, too. Huh? That's a whole new guy.
That's right. Steve Smith, and he's in trouble. And the Chiefs string him out. That was Derek Thomas and Kevin Ross who made the play.
Talk to Derek Thomas. He held out, came in late, but such a physical player. Had 27 sacks as a senior at Alabama, and had a sack earlier in this game. You'll see him right there, 58. Notice how quickly he gets out. And Smith, who has good speed, just could not do anything except go down. And Thomas got a hold of him. Thomas says he's still thinking out there, though, Charlie. He's not able to turn it loose with this defense yet. He'll be a force when he can.
Loss of a yard, 3rd and 5.
Draw.
From the shotgun, Marcus Allen off of the draw to the 41-yard line. And it will be 4th down, and we are going to see the first punt of the ball game.
Rather remarkable. Here we are well into that 3rd quarter, and although there was one fake, no game has ever been played without a punt. Well, we didn't get there, but we got quite a ways into this one.
Gossett to kick. Lou Barnes is the return man. Had a couple of good returns last week.
He certainly did. Got great balance, good acceleration. Let's see if he can do something with this one. Oh, what a great kick.
Perfect kick. You hang it up. He signaled for the Crickets, and he stepped away. It'll be down at the 20-yard line. And we've got a flag down. That may be only for illegal touching. It will go as a 38-yard kick. Trey Junkin was down very quickly.
Unless there was a block by Barnes after he called a fair catch. He's not allowed to block. I didn't see him block, but perhaps.
Also, it wasn't all that strong a fair catch signal either. That's what it's called. That's what it's called. You've got to get that right hand up and wave it back and forth. And he just kind of, yes, I will, and he didn't, you know.
Well, he didn't know what to do, Charlie. That ball was up so high, he couldn't read where it was going to hit. Marty is furious.
No, he shouldn't be. But Marty, you're wrong. At the beginning of what?
The net on that is about well, it's about 13 yards. So I mean, that's a big.
Yeah.
You're pinned back against your goal line.
Rather than you'd have been at the 20 rather than the 7. Yeah.
But what caused that whole thing was that
it was a kick. The height of the kick. That's right.
That's just a great kick.
Jeff Gossett. All right, but first come back with a shot of Gossett, and that'll say that. And you can say that he caused, and then we'll do Schottenheimer's reaction. Because let's give Gossett the pat on the back before, because he really did, didn't he? Woo.
We've seen some, you know, I don't, maybe it's the weather. Now we haven't had a lot of wind here today.
No, well, we do, but not in the stadium.
No, but this stadium traditionally is a pretty windy place.
And Jeff Gossett caused the penalty because he hung the ball so high. An excellent job of kicking.
Rodriguez, the special teams coach, over to congratulate him. Absolutely right. That ball, we've seen some great kicks today. So high that it was impossible for Barnes to make a decision. Now he's hanging back there. Should I, shouldn't I? And that forced the bad call. They lose 13 yards. Ball would have been out on the 20. Now they're back almost in their own end zone.
From the 7-yard line. Okoye, the lone back. And he carries. And he's out to about the 12. He has 5. It'll be second down and 5. And also, we talked about Marty Schottenheimer's reaction. He didn't give up on that reaction. He wasn't thrilled with that call, but it was a good call by the official.
Well, I think Marty, that's such an unusual call. And Marty is saying, why in the world are you going to call that? I mean, the guy didn't try and catch it. Fair catch. But when Marty looks at the tape of this game,
he'll know.
He'll know.
Yeah. Okoye, 55 yards rushing, 16 carries. Herman Hurd and Okoye. And it's Hurd. And he's going to be close to the first down. And let's check the 10-minute ticker.
Raider defense preseason really unable to stop people, but they did it well last week, played very well last week, and they played pretty well here today.
Third down inches. This time the second back is Okoye, and he needed only a couple of inches. There's a scramble point at the bottom of the pile.
Yeah, ball was fumbled, and I believe fumbled before anyone hit the ground, Charlie. Let's see who came up with it.
Kansas City says they have it. I believe it was Mark Addix right at the bottom of the stack who got it. It was Tom Benson who was going for it for the Raiders.
I'll tell you, some of the greatest wars ever fought were fought at the bottom of these stacks. Okoye hit by Tom Benson, and that ball just popped loose, and down underneath there's a battle of arms. 61 right there. Addix is the man who uncovered it, and watch, let's see if we can see where he goes. Well, no, he's a long ways away from the ball initially, but you saw the ball rolling off the backside of the pile, rolled right down to Mark Addix.
We have an injury timeout, and we'll be back in just a moment.
I'll tell you, Mike Webster, a tireless worker, and DeBerg saying that Jonathan Hayes is still a little rusty.
No, he's saying
he can't go.
He can't go in. He wants him out, and it'd be a charge timeout rather than an injury timeout.
He's the guy that they stopped play for. He's got to come out for one play, and then he can go back onto the field.
Exactly. For Kansas City, it's a first down at their own 19-yard line. 53 seconds is the time remaining in the third quarter. It's the Raiders 19 and the Chiefs 17. And we have some whistles. And the referee was checking on the sideline, and now I think is he going to send him back in the huddle or set the play to go? There may be a checking adjustment on the clock, and now we're ready. Play action to Okoye, and the pass is incomplete to Kenny Gamble. It'll be second and 2.
To play without a young superstar sitting in his back pocket.
The backup quarterback is Jaws, Rod Jaworski. I asked you if this is the only time he'd had a backup quarterback that was older than he was. Okoye carrying, and he continues to pound away. Has 4 to the 23. It'll be 3rd down and 6.
I mentioned earlier that Okoye make it a great football success. Well, so far in this game, some very fine football. Charlie, I said earlier the Raider defense had not played bad football in this game. I think it's the excellence of these two offenses today and not sloppy defense that's allowed this many points on the board early in the ball game.
And they will just let the clock run out. Jaworski was coming over to the sideline, and I thought he's not taking himself out. No, they're just running the clock down. That is officially the end of the 3rd quarter. 3 are in the book, 1 to go, and at 10 of 13, only 1 of 4 in the 3rd quarter. So both of the quarterbacks, their efficiency certainly dropped off in the 3rd quarter. This is the 4th. 3rd down and 6 at the 23. Incomplete. Should have been caught. Naz Worthen, it was right on the money. Lionel Washington was there. The statistics through the first 3 quarters, they remain even.
They're pretty darn even within fractions.
Oh, yes.
And even on the scoreboard, too, as only 2 points separate these two teams as we go into this 4th quarter.
And Kelly Goodburn, his first punt. Bobby Joe Edmonds from the 36 misses 1, misses another. Nice return. Good field position for the Raiders. 41 yards on the kick, a 12-yard return. Mike Junkin makes the tackle, and football heads are here.
Ineligible downfield. Number 25 kicking team. Penalty decline. 1st down.
That was Danny Copeland. As you know, when you punt, only the 2 outside men can release before the ball has been kicked.
Larry, I'm sorry. Was I supposed to pick up with Webster?
No, I'm sorry. No. Yeah, I'm afraid to read it. They're getting ready to start. They're on the huddle. No.
Yeah. I was.
Yeah. No.
I didn't know we were going to do it right coming back. I'm sorry. That's my fault because Charlie pointed to me.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize that we were.
Okay, Kenny Hill. Okay.
Well, no, it was all right. It was fine. It was just a shot of the huddle. Just a shot of the. Do we still have it or did we burn it? Doesn't play now.
What, the exchange?
Okay. All right. That's my fault. I'll take that one. Let's see. Let's still get Derek Thomas one time. No, Larry. Let me change that. Let's get Duron Cherry. We'll talk about him a little bit. 20. Yeah. I still got to believe they're going to pick at him a little bit here. Yes, it is. 3 points win it for you. That's they don't just tie it; they win it. Let's reset that offensive line, the Raider offensive line, too, Charlie.
Okay. Is that the way it is? No, that's it. Okay.
66 is in the They had played 4 games together, which was like last year they were always mushed up. So.
Well, you love Musbar and Wisniewski in this game.
Yeah, that's why I think we should talk about it.
We'll do it. This is Charlie Jones and Merlin Olsen. We start the 4th quarter. The offensive line for the Raiders: Roy Grave, John Giesick, Dan Turk, Steve Wright, and Bruce Wilkerson, most part not playing because of a knee injury, and Wisniewski is out with a knee injury. And that offensive line continues to work for the Raiders. They are playing well. Good protection again, and the pass is complete on the far side to Vance Mueller. But credit those 5 men for giving Schrader the time to throw.
Certainly difficult for them with a change at center, a new quarterback for that offensive line, and also with Wisniewski, who's had such a fine rookie season so far. 2 of 5 replaced in there, and they had been able to play 4 games together this year. Last year it was like a revolving door with the offensive line. So important for them to work together if they're going to be able to protect that quarterback. Charlie, you're right. They have played well in spite of their difficulties here today.
When you talked to the Kansas City defenders yesterday, they said we'll see that offensive line in this game when we play them later. They'll have 5 different people in there. They always do.
Not because they want to.
Schrader goes deep. Intercepted. Kevin Ross.
And Ross appears to be hurt. He intercepted the football, but he appears to be hurt.
That is his 18th career interception, and 6 of them have been against the Raiders.
Mervin Fernandez with a touchdown earlier on the up, and Ross says you're not getting this one. Let's see what happens as he goes down. Oh, he tried to catch himself on that left arm, and here it comes up. Tries to catch him. Let's see what happens when he goes to the ground. He has the ball in the left arm. A little wrestling going on. Fernandez saying you're not getting away from me, but that ball hung in the air, and that's something that Schrader did in the preseason. He tended to hang the long pass, and when he does that, gives the defenders all kinds of room to go back and get it.
Kansas City first down at their own 8-yard line. They trail by 2. 19-17. There's a deep pattern. There is a grabbing of the jersey. It will be pass interference called against Los Angeles. Terry McDaniel reached out and grabbed the jersey of the receiver. Carlos Carson, the attenders here, but go back.
Number 36.
Watch Ross after he gets up here, spins around, and goes to the ground. Well, he's got some problems down there. We'll have to find out what it is that's bothering him.
Meanwhile, Terry McDaniel was called for that pass interference. He just had a fistful of the jersey of Carson at the 36-yard line, and it's a first down.
That was one of those come back here, you.
Oh, yes, trying to reel him in. A yard to the 37, second down and 9. Golick with the tackle.
This Cleveland style of defense that Kansas City is playing now puts, as the Raiders, who are playing the same style, puts an even higher percentage of man-to-man nose-up coverage in for those cornerbacks, Charlie, and we've seen a lot of it here today. You saw Ross with that kind of style on his interception. Terry McDaniel was man-on-man coverage there, unable to control his man, a penalty on that play. But these corners in these 2 defensive schemes, about 80% of the time up man-to-man on those 2 wide receivers. And there they are again. Look how tight they are.
Dropped underneath the coverage. Pass is complete. A good reception by Chris Dressel. Showing excellent hands today. He's out at the 45. He has 7. He's going to be about a yard shy of the first down, I believe. Dressel, that's his 3rd reception for 64 yards.
Has had a big day. There he goes across. You see him, and a lot of time there working on the linebacker, getting a chance. No, not a linebacker. Zeph Lee, number 40. Strong safety. A converted running back. He's still learning this system.
Today's telecast presented by Authority, the National Football League, intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Kansas City Chiefs and the National Football League is prohibited. This game is the property of the National Football League, the Los Angeles Raiders, and the Kansas City Chiefs. All right.
6-1 in street clothes. He may not even be on the sideline. I don't see him. Do you see him, Charlie?
Not yet. Yeah.
He may not be there. Okay,
No,
well,
he could be up in the press box.
yeah, he might be somewhere in the press box or doing something else. But I don't see him. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, that wasn't. No, that's not him. But that's obviously one of the players.
There he is.
There he is.
There
right
he is
there.
in the glasses.
With
right
the
there.
hat and the glasses.
There he is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hat and the glasses.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll talk about him.
Well, I need to get in this about. I don't want to wait too long in the remaining game.
$5, you'll receive a Huddle Club t-shirt, Chiefs player wristbands, newsletter, a special invitation to a skills clinic with Chiefs player, and much more. So head to your local 7-Eleven store and pick up your obligation today. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, Ian Aldridge's scoreboard is out because it's on the moment of the situation.
This is Charlie Jones and Merlin Olsen. The Raiders defense going without some of their stalwarts.
They certainly are, Charlie. Over on the sideline, Scott Davis, who's their promising young pass rusher, not playing today, a leg injury, and also Jerry Robinson out with a partial tear of the groin, and they have missed him.
He's back with the cap on.
Yeah, with a cap on in the back there, cap and the glasses. Two very important players in this Raider defense not seeing action. You talked to Dave Adolph, he said, we need to have our quality players on the field. Talked about Howie Long. Howie's been playing more today, but he too has been missing a lot of action. So this defense will improve when they get those key people back into the mix.
They had to restart. The 30-second clock had not started, and so they had to reset it. And that's the 30-second clock, of course, following the timeout. Otherwise, it's a 45-second clock, and there's a flag down.
Greg Townsend up on the top of your screen, jumps offside on that play. Going to be 5 yards against the Raider defense.
And Okoye made about 5, about 4, so they'll probably take the penalty, and they'll have the first down. And while they do that, let's check the 10-minute ticker. In that one, as we go quickly through these, so you have to check them at home.
Charlie, look how far Golick is off the ball. The nose tackle. Look how far back he is. You see the line of linemen? That's Golick about a yard behind.
And the left line incomplete to Herman Hurd.
Great touch on that pass, but it was dropped.
2 more baseball scores or panels. All right, in the 4th inning, Chicago leading California. Oh. And we have another penalty.
Again, the Raiders.
Holding, number 92 defense, first down.
Now, back-to-back calls for number 92, Greg Townsend.
No, 92 is Emmanuel King.
Oh, all right. 90. All right, we better not do that.
They split it 1 on each side, didn't they?
Great.
They even it out.
92 and 93. I'm looking at 92 and thinking 93. Emmanuel King, of course, in a place that Otis Wilson was in last week before he was cut for the second time by the Raiders.
First down, Kansas City, 45-yard line, Raider territory. Okoye, and he may end up with a yard, but that's going to be all. Emmanuel King is the man who made the tackle. The report on Kenny Gamble, he has a right foot injury, questionable return. Kevin Ross is between these two Western rivals. There's a blitz up the middle, and he goes to the hot receiver. Good read. Zepp Lee bringing down Emil Harry. Harry is the hot receiver on that blitz, and he went right to him. Harry also has to read the blitz, and the play goes to the 39.
54, Tom Benson getting through there clean. Webster looking at him, but didn't get a shot on him. And DeBerg showing you some good quarterbacking. He said, I've got to make the right decisions and throw the ball accurately. Well, he certainly did both of those things on that play. And Emil Harry, who's caught 3 big passes today, and one of them is good a catch as you're going to see at the receiving end of it.
3rd down and 4. DeBerg goes deep into double coverage, and it is incomplete.
And they're going to call a penalty over there.
Did they get the call?
Yes,
they wanted it.
Terry McDaniel again. You'll see him at the end of this play, reaches across and hangs on to the receiver. I don't think Emil Harry would have been able to catch that football, but watch the play. Watch the end of it right here. As Emil Harry tries to turn back,
Number 36.
he grabs his arm right there.
He does. He hooks it.
Daniel hooked the arm. This official did not see it. He was blocked, but the official on the backside did and threw the flag.
And with the penalty, the ball goes to the 12-yard line. And it's first down.
Charlie, I don't think that was a smart play because I really don't believe that Emil Harry could have caught that football. But there you see the hang. He had a hold of his arm. You can't do that. And had Emil been able to turn around, at least he would have touched the ball. But I don't think he would have caught it.
The defender was playing the man and not the ball.
Well, it's man-to-man coverage.
And you'll get caught every time, though, when you do that. You got to look back to the ball to make contact.
Man-to-man, you can't hang on to his arm anyway.
Koye. 8-yard line, gain of 4. Second down and 6. Jackie Shipp and Tom Benson with the tackle.
A lot of rebuilding going on both of these teams. And, of course, that Raider defense trying to rebuild that secondary. McDaniel is a first-year player. Last year started a couple of times and then broke his leg. Back in the lineup as a starter this year. Lionel Washington on the other side has played 7 years but has not had a lot of starting time.
Second and 6, 8-yard line. Okoye and Hurd, the running backs. It's Hurd behind Okoye. Inside the 5, but just barely. We'll mark it the 5. Third down and 3.
Possible to pick up a first down without having the touchdown.
Emmanuel King with the stop. Defensively, from the defensive line, when you're in this situation, what are you looking for? What are you keying on? Because you know the offense has a short field to work with.
Third and 3, Charlie, an option down for the offense. Even though that's a little out of the range of the run, you can't ignore the run. You've got to play it honest. If it were third and 6, you could afford to play the pass down here. The defense does benefit from having a short field to cover here. That field compresses down there. Not a lot of room for DeBerk to work with. But I expect a run here.
It's Hurd. It will be close to the first down.
I think he's got it, Charlie. Looked like the forward surge carried him inside that 2-yard line.
The Chiefs say they have it. The officials say, let's just make sure, and they call for the measurement. Bill Pickel at the bottom of the stack.
Hurd coming late, giving that offensive line a chance to move downfield, and they did a good job of moving those white and black jerseys out, and they do have the first down.
First down and goal to go. 2-yard line.
Joe Pendre, offensive coordinator, sending the play onto the field. 3 tight ends. At least 2 I can see, maybe 3 in there, Charlie.
Do you go with Okoye or you go with Hurd? 3 tight ends. A power set.
Well, I guess you're gonna, Okoye has scored. He's such a big back, he can almost fall in there if you give him a little room. He'd be my choice here.
He's the Chiefs. And he is turned away. It'll be second down and goal to go at the 1. Tom Benson leading the Raider defense.
Benson along with number 33, Eddie Anderson, in on that tackle. And that ball down to the 1-yard line. Second and 1 yard to go.
The time, 8:18 and counting. The margin, 2 points. The Raiders on their first touchdown. The holder, Jeff Gossett, bobbled. The snap, did not get it down in time. They did not even get off the extra point attempt. And that 1 point continues to loom large in the outcome.
Certainly does. Schottenheimer with a choice here because the field goal will put him ahead, but he doesn't want a field goal here. He wants 7.
Okoye, touchdown.
times today has not looked graceful, has looked awkward, but with that huge strength and bulk, he just runs over people. Eddie Anderson, number 33, finally makes a tackle, but he didn't get him wrestled down until he was about 4 yards into the end zone.
First time in his NFL career, in fact, that's the only time he started out. First time in his pro football career that he scored 2 touchdowns in one ball game. Here is the extra point, and it is good. And the Chiefs now lead 24-19. And Kansas City just put together a 92-yard touchdown drive. They have the lead, and we'll be back with a kickoff.
Run it for me. Let's see. It's in the telestrator. Oh, okay. Okay. It's in the telestrator. Oh, yeah. Run it back. That's a good block. Good block by Herman Hurd. Okay. Run it again. Run it one more time. Let me look at. Oh, yeah. Jonathan Hayes. Good block. Okay. Show it to me one more time.
A little oxygen because we've got 7:51 left.
I talked about his fatigue. He's feeling it.
Lowry kicking off. Stephon Adams. Oh, and he almost comes out. Now let's go back to the touchdown.
2 excellent blocks to look for. Jonathan Hayes is going to drive his man inside. Herman Hurd going to come right in here and block on Jackie Shipp. And there's the run by Okoye, but some excellent blocking up front to clear the way.
The Raiders from their own 20-yard line. They trail by 5, 24-19. Kerry Porter gets the call and has 4 yards. Second down and 6. And Okoye, 23 carries, a career-high 70 yards, career-high rushes, and a career-high 2 touchdowns.
He's got to be a little bit exhausted.
But the way he's been playing, the way Marcus Allen has been playing, maybe everybody's going to want to skip preseason next year.
Well, I'm not so sure that that's a great idea. You'll get letters from the coaches on that one, Charlie. The players don't want to go to camp. You're right. They'd rather just come and play.
Second and 6.
Play action.
Good pass over 2 defenders to Fernandez, and he has 18 yards.
Rob McGovern playing in place of the injured Dino Hackett there to make the stop, but the play action held the linebackers long enough for Fernandez to get down into the secondary and gave Jay Schrader long enough time to find him. Look at that throw right over the top of the linebacker. That's 51 Junkin in there on that particular play, as Mike Junkin gets a little flying time in there.
And Fernandez comes wide to the near side. First down at the Los Angeles 43. Kerry Porter.
Marcus is tired. Marcus is tired, and Porter is in there trying to take some of the load off of him. But I mentioned that he was going to have trouble here in this 4th quarter, and the Raiders giving him a little break here. Here he is. 32 back in there.
His totals right now about what they were last week. 17 carries, 53 yards.
52 yards, I think he ended up with last week, Charlie.
Second down. Play action.
Screen to Marcus. No.
They go to Mike Dial, the tight end.
It looked like they were trying to set up a screen to Marcus Allen.
Let's check the 10-minute ticker. Now Cleveland comfortably back in front of the Jets. Philadelphia closing in on Washington, and Cincinnati continues to lead Pittsburgh. Atlanta in front of Dallas after trailing. They were down 21-0, weren't they? Is that correct? And a final, Miami defeats New England. And in the fourth quarter, it's New Orleans in front of Green Bay. Here, 24-19. 5.5 minutes. Time remaining. Chiefs lead. Lead has changed hands 7 times. Here's Marcus. And Marcus Allen to the 40-yard line.
Marcus saying, Merlin, I'm not tired. Watch me run here. I'll tell you, he's an amazing athlete.
He truly is.
Great change of direction again. No hold inside. Martin there to take him down. The one thing that he doesn't do quite as well as he did early in his young career, though, is avoid those second and third people downfield. He now has more yardage than he had last week, and taking a needed sip of water and a quick break on the sideline.
Schrader, 14 of 21, 191 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Play action. Here's a blitz. He slides out of it, then he's dropped. Derek Thomas made the play. Neil Smith made the tackle, or got the sack.
2 pretty outstanding rushers. Right in the middle of your screen, number 58 is going to burst in from the right-hand side. Right there, number 58, Derek Thomas, number 1 draft pick. Even though he missed that tackle, he still held him long enough to let Neil Smith, last year's number 1 pick out of Nebraska, slip in underneath. A couple of impact players that are really going to help this Kansas City defense.
3rd down and 15.
Boy, this crowd into this game now. 3rd and long. He's
pressure. 4th sack for Kansas City.
And
Derek Thomas.
Look who's at the bottom of the stack again. At Alabama, he had 27 sacks in his senior year. He had a total of 52 quarterback sacks. You can see why. Great acceleration. Number 60, Rory Graves, did not have a chance. And that's the kind of combo linebacker, power linebacker, that these teams are looking for.
Now Jeff Gossett will be kicking, and he kicks the ball high. Lou Barnes will be receiving, and that he still has a bit of a sun problem, but not as bad as earlier.
Short kick, Charlie. Oh, look out.
And takes a Kansas City bounce all the way back to the 50-yard line. The net is 12 yards.
Now that is just horrible luck. This tacky surface caught that ball. I think it came down on the 30, and he lost 20 yards on the bounce. Let's see where the ball comes down. Touches right on the 30-yard line and jumps back to the 51. Now I think the question being asked, did it touch any of the players before it got that far? I don't think so.
Officially, it is going to go in the books as a 10-yard kick. While the officials has his conference, we mentioned that one final, Miami defeated New England 24-10. Another final, the Jets defeat the Patriots by the same score, 24-10.
Now Van McElroy is listening and pointing as if there may be a call against the Raiders, but they've got Carlos Carson out there to talk to him. Well, let's let the officials sort one. Jerry Seaman saying, I don't know what to do on this one.
We'll bring ever. I know what to do, but let's sort out the options. Sure. Oh, yeah.
He knows what to do. One of the fine officials in the NFL, and he has control of this ball game, believe me.
We have unsportsmanlike conduct. Receiving team player had a man out of bounds, would not allow him inbounds. The receiving team will retain the ball. Penalty, post-possession at the foul.
Ooh, Marty, be careful.
That's a direct quote, Marty.
Be careful, Marty. Marty Schottenheimer, always emotional. His players following his lead, and believe me, that's something that happens. Teams take on the personality of a head coach, and Marty is tough, single-minded. He's angry because it looked like they were going to get the ball,
And it ends up being a 25-yard penalty.
It sure does. Big loss on that. Instead of being on the 49-yard line of your opponent, you're all the way back on the 25-yard line.
First and 10.
So it will be a first down. First and 10 for Kansas City on their own 25-yard line. 3:37 time remaining. Kansas City leads it 24-19. Koye out to the 30. Second and 5. Golick and Wise on the tackle.
Charlie, Mike Shanahan has really had a lot of heat in Los Angeles. A lot of criticism. In fact, there people had all kinds of rumors running around that he was going to be fired in the preseason, that he was going to be fired and replaced by Art Shell. We talked about it on our pregame show last week. I got to tell you, I have a lot of respect for Al Davis and the Raider organization. But one thing I don't like, if you hire a coach, either give him your support or fire him. And I think that's the kind of support that Mike Shanahan deserves. His team has played well last week. They played very well today.
Second and 4. Okoye for the first down. Taking Jackie Shipp with him. And Van McElroy is also there. They mark it at the 36-yard line. First down. Tough opening schedules for both Kansas City and for Los Angeles. The first two games, they lose at Denver. They play the Raiders here today. At San Diego, then Cincinnati, at Seattle, at the Raiders. So 5 of the first 6 are in the division. Now for the Raiders, they have that same thing. 5 of their first 6 games, they won San Diego here today. Denver, Seattle, the Jets, Kansas City are within the division. So both of these teams have to get off to a good start. And we have talked that clock all the way down to 2 minutes to go in the ball game.
Wounded it.
We'll be back.
Organization, players, and coaches, thank you for coming to today's game.
What would you like to talk about? You want to talk about this? The rivalry?
It's been such a good game. We haven't had to. We can do that. Yeah. Let's talk about the rivalry.
Okay.
Schottenheimer said, you know, he didn't really know much about the rivalry.
Okay. Can you put a shot of this on tape?
Shanahan. Yeah, we'll talk about that. Let me do it.
No, we're just holding it steady.
But let me tell a story to get you to that.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to open up.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Back at Arrowhead Stadium, and last week, Charlie, we had a chance to do the Raider game, and we were talking about the fact that 30 years ago, the Raiders played their first game.
Right.
That game against the Dallas Texans. There was only one man on the Raiders side of the line that was there, but you were there.
That's
and
right.
I said, who won the game? And you said, I don't remember. Well, something happened between then and now.
Right. Terry Allen, a young man in California that's working for a newspaper, did a little bit of research, and he sent us a photocopy of the newspaper in San Francisco. And so we can all find out that that Oakland battle, the Texans to the wire and won 20-13. You can tell from the uniforms that it truly was 30 years ago, and that game took place in Kezar Stadium. And the starting quarterback for the Raiders was Tom Flores.
Tom Flores.
Yes.
And, of course, Flores now has moved to another team in that same division, the Seattle
Yes,
Seahawks.
Seattle Seahawks.
So the plot thickens. Talking about this rivalry, though, they asked Marty Schottenheimer about the rivalry. He said, I don't know much about that rivalry. I've been in another division. Mike Shanahan knows about the rivalry. He's been up at Denver. And, of course, the rivalry of the Western Division, no stranger for him.
Okoye and flags are down. But it's the rivalries that make professional football so much fun, so interesting. And you play within your division twice a year. You get to know each other. In the series, 33-22-2. And the Raiders have dominated it since they moved to Los Angeles.
Well, I think they have.
Kansas City's been on a downswing.
Charlie, in part because the
Offside.
Chiefs played so
Number
well.
90 defense, still first down.
Charlie, you talked about the rivalry. Let's go back to those early beginnings. Which different cities and team names did today's two opponents once have?
Well, we know because of what we were talking about of the Dallas Texans.
Dallas Texans.
And
That's
of course, the Raiders, they were in Oakland before, but
the other part.
the other part.
is the tough part.
The other part.
Seniors.
Oakland Seniors. That was their original name last. How long did that name last?
They had a contest, a name the team contest in Oakland. They chose Oakland Seniors. That name lasted about 48 hours. And they said, we're not going to call this team the Oakland Seniors. We're going to be the Oakland Raiders.
They gave the man 2 free tickets, thanked him, and sent him on his way.
They said, that's all over.
Okoye plowing for the first down. 26 carries, 86 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
We talked about the importance of the running game at the very top of this show. The two guys we highlighted, Okoye, and he has produced as we expected he might today. At least we knew the spotlight was on him. And of course, Marcus Allen. I am impressed late in this game knowing that both of those players have just come back and started to practice. I'm impressed with how productive they have been in this fourth quarter.
And just as you can see, shy of the first down, it was 1st and 5, so it'll be 2nd down and inches. 1:46. The margin is 5 points. The Raiders 19, Kansas City 24, and we have a final in. Atlanta defeated Dallas 27-21. That final just in.
Yesterday, in talking to the Kansas City coaches, they talked about the importance of being able to run the football in the final stages of a ball game, to run out the clock. That's something they were not able to do in the past. But right now, DeBerg and company are doing a pretty good job of eating up that clock, using that running game to keep that clock rolling.
Next week, the Raiders at Denver. Kansas City's at San Diego. The Raiders return home in 2 weeks. They'll be hosting Seattle. We've got a timeout. 1:46 left of the ball game, and we'll be back in just a moment.
Packing your stuff, Charlie.
Would you take the pins out, because we're going to be zapping out of here in a big hurry. Depends on who wins. Depends on who wins. Okoye and Schrader.
2 touchdowns. I guess you got it.
We're back. Let me interrupt you. That was a short commercial. 1:46. What were we really discussing? Should we let our viewers in it? We're discussing once again the Budweiser Most Valuable Player Award. And you got back you got back too soon. We haven't had the vote yet. Okoye. Oh, now he was a step away from a touchdown. He almost broke it.
I think he heard we were voting.
Oh, yes. And in case you're wondering, he's one of the finalists.
Now that's the kind of play that is frustrating for a defense. That's the kind of play you'll love if you're on the offensive side of the line with a lead. That keeps the clock rolling. Raiders have called a timeout now, and they're chewing up the last opportunities to stop this Kansas City team.
And while we have this moment, let's check all the scores. Still in the fourth quarter. Is that still in fourth? I thought we had a final on that. I'm sorry. It's 35-24 on the fourth quarter. Washington 37, Philadelphia 28. Make a correction on that Jet score, because I thought I was given the final. I was wrong. That was my mistake. And Cincinnati comfortably in front of Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's really got their problems this year. Final, Atlanta defeats Dallas. Final, Miami wins. And final, Green Bay by 1 over New Orleans. There's an upset.
It certainly is.
And the games that started a little bit later, no score except for the Houston-San Diego game, and the Oilers have a field goal in that one.
If things stay the same as they are at this moment, both of these teams will be 1-1 in this early season. The teams basically will have won their home opener and pleased a large crowd here. Not such a large crowd in Los Angeles, but I think a lot of these folks will come back.
These are both contending teams in the West. These are both contending teams in the West.
Well, if there's one division you'd like to be in this year, it's the Western Division of the AFC, because it's a championship that is definitely up for grabs.
Los Angeles last timeout.
And the Raiders just take their last timeout.
40 seconds.
And officially, we still have 1:29 as the time remaining.
Charlie, we've talked about that Raider offensive line, the fact that they have been rebuilt, and certainly we ought to do the same for this Kansas City offensive line, because they have done a great job in there today of clearing the way for Okoye and Herman Hurd and Saxon, all of whom have run well. But Irv Eatman, who last year was at left tackle, now at the right tackle position. Dave Lutz, a tackle for most of his career, in there at that right guard position. And of course, Mike Webster, great old pro. I'll tell you, he gives so much in there. Helps everybody, always with an eye open to do something more. And he talked to us about how difficult this season has been for him, but he is an important member of that offensive line. Mark Addix, who recovered a fumble earlier, this is a day he'll remember. And John Auld over there at that all-important left tackle position, protecting that backside for the quarterback, Steve DeBerg. And let's give them an opportunity to take a bow.
2nd and 10. And now all that Kansas City has to do is let the clock run down. The Raiders are out of timeouts, and with the 45-second clock, they can take it all the way down and do it one more time.
Carl Peterson on the sideline. Basically what they have done here in Kansas City is the same thing that was done in New Orleans. They brought in a football man and said, look, we want to rebuild this program. We're giving you all the titles. There was no question who was in charge here. But a general manager, president, and CEO. And I said, okay, I'm a believer.
That's right.
And of course, his decision was to bring in Marty Schottenheimer. The result's certainly pleasing here today.
Now we take the snap.
He's
and the game is over. They'll take the count down. Well, I'll vote for this man. I'll vote for number 35 for the Budweiser Most Valuable Player. Will you go with me?
I'll go with you on that, Charlie.
It's unanimous. Christian Okoye. 27 carries, 95 yards, and 2 touchdowns. The Budweiser Most Valuable Player, and Budweiser will make a contribution to the United Way on behalf of all of the MVPs selected in today's game. And so, Kansas City defeats Los Angeles by a score of 24-19. The lead changed hands 7 times. A great ball game, a sellout crowd. For Merlin Olsen, I'm Charlie Jones. So long from Arrowhead Stadium.
Bring us the jackets so we've got them, will you?
This just going to be with him and our voice, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I said get the jackets so we're ready to speak.
Yeah. I'm with you.
How much time for the interview, Larry?
Where's my little
Okay.
gizmo?
All right. Okay.
All right. Yeah.
Christian, can you hear us down there?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, good. We'll be talking to you in just a second.
All right.
Very fine game. Congratulations. This is Merlin Olsen talking to you.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Then
I'll be here.
Drive carefully on your way home. We look forward to seeing you here at Arrowhead on Lee Jeans Day on October 1st. Chiefs play the Cincinnati Bengals. This is your stadium announcer, Dan Roberts, reminding you to be sure to listen to the Chiefs Locker Room Show with Bill Grigsby and Len Dawson on KCMO Radio 81 on your way home. Again, if you have automobile problems, the friendly Amoco Motor Club service vehicles in the parking lots. Also, don't forget to stop by TGI Fridays at Ward Parkway Mall on your way home today for a post-game party. Thanks and good afternoon.
Christian, they're coming any minute.
Okay.
Can you hear them, Christian, in New York? Good.
Yes, I can. How long do we have? How long we have?
Ladies and gentlemen, the academic
How long do we have?
teams choose players with
Okay.
rules and
I was going to take my shoulder.
promote quality education in Kansas City. During pregame ceremonies today, 9 college scholarships for $2,500 each were presented to the following
These guys are waiting for me inside.
school graduates.
Are we there?
Kevin Quinney of Lincoln Prep, presented by the Lead Company.
Okay.
For Kevin is his father, Willie Quinney.
Hey, if they're not ready, let me take off my shoulder pads.
Next is Crystal Taylor of Central High School by Amoco. Accepting for Crystal, Taylor. Then Ryan Middleton of Northeast by Amoco Oil.
Oh, that's all right.
Denise Rector of Southwest, presented by Blue Cross and Blue Shield. Representing Denise is your mother, Rosie Rector. Candy Smith of Van Horn by J.E. Dunn Construction Company. Serena Sutherland of Southeast by Lewis Rich. Presenting for Serena
All right.
is her mother, Jenny Sutherland.
Commercial, and then they'll come to you. What happened was,
Joseph Dean of Westport, presented by Payless Cashway.
so we had to redial it.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
Nicole Williams of Paseo by Telecommunications Incorporated. And Monroe Richardson of Lincoln Prep, presented by Western Auto. On
Hello.
the Chiefs Community Relations Department, the Lead Company,
Hello.
and the Kansas City Business Journal. The Academic Chiefs Corps salutes these 1989 scholarship recipients.
Yes, I can. Yeah.
I will be coming to you in less than a minute. Stand by.
All right.
Cliff Burville, report to Security Section 118. Cliff Burville, report to Security Section 118, please.
He's got to go right now. Head coach wants you right now. He's got to go. No, he's on. He's on. He's a minute and a half by now, so let it go.
Yeah, one thing is that Marty Schottenheimer, he has a game plan saying one play after the other, and we just took it, one play at a time, and everything worked out good for us. We just kept scratching and stuff, so things worked out. You know, one thing I have to say right now is, you know, I always believed in myself, you know, running the ball. That's, you know, my number one, playing football. And I'm glad that Marty Schottenheimer, he really believed in me too. Starting in the training camp, I was injured most of the time, and I didn't get to, you know, practice in training camp. But he really believed in the guys here, you know, running backs and running the ball, the offensive line, blocking really good. So, you know, we're going to run the ball. We will. I'm really comfortable. I've been here for 7 years now. I'm very, very comfortable. I like the people here. All right, thank you. I would just like to say thank you to the people who support me back at Azusa in California, and I love you, Lauren. Thank you, people. APU, thanks.